Today is September 10th. It's about 10 a.m. and it's almost 80 degrees. I think it's 78 or 79, but it feels warm. And that's because we got a little bit of rain last night, so it's a little sticky outside. Oh, look at the size of this pomegranate. That looks good. And then there's this tiny little one. Not as big. But yeah, that's pretty. And I've got some little white oleanders. And one of the things I was going to do is move these sky pencils into their own pots, containers, and see if I could bring them back to life. Maybe their roots are still living, but I haven't done that yet because there's been a lot of things we've been doing. Oh, I should probably get some of these coleus seeds. That was a pretty cool coleus. That coleus didn't really get to thrive much because of this basil. And I collected some basil seeds already. So yesterday and Wednesday we went and got more compost, manure, potting soil, all sorts of stuff. So we're still unloading that from the truck, and it's been over 100 degrees. We've had excessive heat indexes, so we've been doing it slowly. But yesterday I went to Home Depot and I got some mums. Most of the plants that I bought I planted out front. And then this is I always have to look at the tag, a Dipladenia, and this is the Rio Red one. So it's got a flower that's gonna come out. I planted one out front that's a raspberry pink color. So we shall see how they do. They're supposed to like heat, drought, you name it. It's in the Mandevilla family, and the Mandevilla is vining, and this is supposed to, because it's slow growing, it's also kind of a vine, but it basically is a filler, whatever the plant is that's supposed to hang over the sides. Oh yes, in fact you can see the clouds, and that's why it's humid, and we don't usually have humidity. You can see the bees are working away on the basil. I'm so glad I planted this basil. It's not the most attractive thing I've had in my yard, but I love it for the pollinators that it brings in. Then I got some grass that's come up. Don't know how that's happened. Let's see. That calendula back there is starting to have some growth to it. I'm gonna fill this pot and clean it up. The birds must have a nest up in this tree. There's my hibiscus up there. Kind of crazy. That oleander is looking pretty good. So maybe that's not a dwarf. I don't know. This is where I've collected some seeds. The ones around the bridge were getting dry. There's still a few bees on here though, but it's getting to where I can get like a whole string of seeds. I think later when it cools off, I'm gonna pull the drip hose that's in there and only have like 2 strands running instead of 3, because that is pretty soggy. I'm letting all my okra go to seed, so I'm gonna have a ton of okra seeds. This little petunia came back, and it looks like there's some green in there that might come back. My beans are gone. My gosh, what a lot of flowers. I think those are all Kajari melons. So if those flowers make it, there's a ton. You can see my okra over there. It looks kind of funny. And then look at how large those red ones are. The wind kind of took that out yesterday. This cypress vine is, oh, here's my other okra. I just kind of find it amusing. They're so huge. So I think I just let them dry and then I can pull them. Oh, there's a few little flowers. Looks like I might have some more tomatoes off of there. I don't think I have any flowers on this. Oh, we were shading that lemon squash down there with my big umbrella, and we had a dust devil come through the yard, and it was so ferocious it picked up the umbrella with the stand, and it came over here and fell on these peppers. It was amazing to see. I'm gonna pull this butternut squash, I believe. It's just that every once in a while, like, here's another fruit. I think, oh, I'm not gonna let this go any longer, and then I find another fruit. These cucumbers, these are Armenian cucumbers. They're starting to grow pretty good. There's a few Kajari melons there. The Ford Hook zucchini. There's a bunch of cowpeas in here. And then we took out the tomatillos. I don't know if I showed that last week or not. Oh, these artichokes have been going pretty steady, growing steady in that. I was actually gonna take them out, but they've gotten bigger, so. Lots of cowpeas in there. I don't think the birds have been eating the goji berries, and I'm letting them. I don't think this tomato plant over here that is now in the shade because of the way the sun is angled is going to make it. It's awful tiny, and it's not growing very fast. And this pumpkin plant, unless it has some fruit on it, and I doubt that it does, probably not going to do that well. But this has been pretty to watch all this green in here. And then we have, after we pulled out the tomatillos, we found what we think is a Mediterranean palm is what seems to be growing in our yard everywhere. And then we had some cowpeas in there. And the reason I think it's a Mediterranean palm is because we have it right there too, one coming out of there. So anyway, we are in the process, like I say, of loading, replenishing our bags and stuff, but we still have to move a bunch off of the truck. There's pepper. I still need to clean up this bed. This is getting some jalapenos on it now. This is a chocolate cherry, and it's what I also planted up there, but like I say, I don't know that it's going to get enough hours of sunlight to really do anything. And then I took out the patty pan squash because it was pretty much done. And then, like I said, we had I trimmed that all back and kind of placed it so that it wasn't on the ground anymore, but it's kind of a gnarly looking plant. I don't think it's going to make it, so I think I'll probably pull that as well and plant something else in there. I'm going to be planting my fall or winter garden, I guess it is, shortly. Ooh, there are flowers on that pepper plant over here. So I'm gonna have serranos. I love serrano peppers. They really do spice everything up nice. Oh, looks like, oh, that's right. I had a tomato somewhere and I picked it. I was a volunteer, so I picked it and put it in this bed. That butternut squash at the bottom, I'm probably going to have to cut it off. It's got a part that's bad. My husband's been battling the squash bugs over here. So this week I'll probably take out the beans here and maybe cut back the rue. And I don't know what else. Prop up my peppers, get them looking better. Get the truck unloaded. That's if the weather cooperates. I think we're supposed to go down into the 90s, which to most people that probably still sounds hot, but to us it is not. So much cooler. There's more fronds coming out of the sago palm, and they're all green. So I think this is finally going to lose its yellow. And I thought that these red lantana turned out really pretty. I'm so glad I left them in here. I almost took them out, but now I'm glad I left them. That's my garden diary. Today is September 8th, and this is what we got out of the garden: 4 cucumbers and 4 eggplants. And it's excessively hot today. I think the official temperature was like 103 or something. It's pretty miserable.